Mr. President. The bill is on recommittal of some clauses of the Electoral Act number 6, 2010, repeal and reenactment bill 2021 SB 122 to the Committee of the Whole. The Senate recalls that the Electoral Act number 6, 2020, repeal and reenactment bill 2021 was passed by the Senate and the House of Representatives recently. Observes that after critical examination of the bill, some fundamental issues which require fresh legislative action on the following clauses 43, 52, 63, and 87 were observed. Desirous of the need to address the observations of the committee and make necessary amendments, and relying on Order 1B and Order 53.6 of the Senate Standing Order, this Senate resolves to rescind the decision on the affected clauses of the bill as passed and recommit same to the Committee of the Whole for further legislative action. I so move.
Whoever wants to make some comments can do so. You second the motion, Senator Smart Ademi, and make your contribution.
I'm opposed to this motion.
Sorry?
I can second.
Senator Mohamed Adamalero.
Thank you, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues. I remain Mohamed Adamalero. Mr. President, I rise to second this very important motion, heavily moved by the leader of the Senate. In seconding it, Mr. President, I want to make some comments. First, this is a move that will strengthen and deepen our democracy. This is a move that will make the electoral process very transparent and acceptable. And this is a move that will enthrone real democracy in Nigeria, because it's a move that will make the electorate to select people of unquestionable character. It will make the electorate to vote according to their conscience. It will give them choice. Unlike the delegate system, where money bags will simply hijack the party and enthrone whoever they want to enthrone, regardless of whether he is acceptable or not. But this move will certainly make it possible for good politicians to come in. People that have no money, as long as they are popular, they will come and they will get elected. And such people, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, will certainly do what the people want them to do. Unlike the situation we have now, that people of questionable character will be elected, and they would not have the interest of the people at heart. So, Mr. President, for this reason, I second this motion, and I urge all my colleagues to support it. Thank you.
I stand to differ on the issue of the clause that we are reversing. I hold the view, Mr. President, that indirect primary is more applicable to our situation in our country. A good percentage of party members are still Majority are still literate, especially in the rural areas. And asking us to conduct, asking them to come and vote will require a lot of enlightenment rather than having the indirect that would limit the numbers of those who will participate in primary elections. So I hold the view, Mr. President, that it is more cheaper, less cumbersome to have indirect primary election. I so submit, Mr. President.
Okay, senators who are members of the conference committee, I will advise that they just listen to our colleagues. No, please, that's my ruling. You listen to our colleagues because you are going to represent our colleagues there. So, who wants to speak? No, Senator Opeyemi, you are a member of that committee. Okay, the single Senator Opeyemi.
I'm Michael Opeyemi Bamidele, and I represent the people of Ekiti Central Senatorial District. Mr. President, I'm in support of this motion, and specifically, I want to say that what is being proposed in clause 87 with respect to conduct of primaries by way of ensuring that every card-carrying member of a political party is able to participate is something that will really advance the cause of our democracy. Simply put, Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, it is a way of giving power back to the people who are members of the political parties. This is not about any political party. Every political party will enjoy this right. Every card-carrying member of all the parties will enjoy this right. I really believe that if this our democracy will be strengthened, if this our democracy will grow, and if we are going to be able to take it to anything close to global best practice standards, it is time for us to adopt direct mode of primaries.
Okay. You may round up now, please.
Section 87. Speaking on the same section, sir, I believe that what we have in subsection 4 should be consistent with what we should also have in subsection 4 is simply saying the guidelines to be adopted by political parties must be submitted to INEC, at least 14 days before the primaries, which is to ensure that there's equal opportunity for everybody. But if you look at subsection 7 of that constitution, it's saying that every participant, every aspirant shall be entitled to a copy of the guidelines. So what we have here is establishing the right of aspirants to a copy of the guidelines. What we should also have is creation of a duty that it shall also be the duty of the party to ensure that every aspirant is given a copy of the guidelines, also at least 14 days to the primaries, so that aspirants can make sure that the same guideline that they have is...
Please, distinguished, you may round up, please. Excuse me, please. Distinguished Senator, which is France Committee, and let me tell you, you are not here when you are made a member. Just listen, please. As a member of the conference committee, and I will not recognize Senator Goji, just like you are supposed to listen to our colleagues. There are some who want this, there are some who are opposed to it. It's for the conference committee to retreat after the submissions by our colleagues and then take a decision. You can't just stand up and say this is where you stand as a member of the conference committee. And this is the rationale why I'm not supposed to take a position. So please, those of you who are members of the conference committee, just listen to the arguments of our colleagues. And then after the debate and whatever happens, you can now go to the House engagement with an opinion, which will be the preponderant opinion of the Senate. And that's why I said, if you are a member of the committee, you are not going to debate. You are not going to participate in the debate. Any other person who is...
Or not. Mr. President, if we say we are practicing democracy and we try every time here and there to copy the developed world, let's do it the way it is done over there.
No.
And then we try as much as possible and track it to suit our situation.
No.
When you are doing the direct primary in any party, by the time the results comes out, and let's say 30,000 people were INEC registered voter, and your party, you are 13,000, and that 13,000 people came out to vote, whatever figure you got, you can still sleep and snore against the main election, because by the time the election is there, the party people will feel that, look, we are the one who elected him, we are the one, we participated, and we have a full support for him. So it has already solved some of your own problem as a candidate to win the main election, number one. Number two, it helps the people who are members of your party to feel wanted. They are part of the processes, so when the election comes, most of them will run around to contribute for it. I don't see any reason why anybody should be afraid of direct primary. I think with this little submission, I'm supporting direct.
Minority Leader.
Actually, I think that what is going on is that we are focusing on some aspects of this and leaving the most critical one. So I want to thank the leader for amending 43, 53, no, 43. Because 43 now makes provision for acceptance of electronic voting machine and electronic or transfer of results, which means results being transferred either electronically or physically, which is exactly what caused the problem.
No, I think you should get this point right. It's not the same as transmission. Yes, it's not the same.
Either way that you use and take results out as determined by the electoral body. Now, on the other question, which is on the fact of primaries, which is what the original situation was, that parties were left to determine which method suits them. And I think the only problem we have with this one is that not every party has the capacity to be able to organize direct primaries. So I think that we may still have to leave it in the way it is, so that the parties that have the capacity can do direct, parties that don't have the capacity. Mr. President, those are my views, and I think that with those views, I rest my case.
Senator, you should know your friend. Distinguished colleagues, those in favor of the motion that the Senate reverse the plenary for the child report progress, say aye. Aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. The Committee of the Whole considered the Electoral Act number 6, 2010, repeal and enactment bill 2021 and approved as follows. Clause 43 as recommended, Clause 52 as amended, Clause 63 as recommended, Clause 87 as amended. Is this a true reflection of what transpired in the Committee of the Whole? Thank you. Leader of the Senate.